I've given 2 years to Airtel as well, Bharti Telecom. So I'm actually a telecom guy. So just landed in America year ago, and just started my career with Salesforce. I've just heard over in radio, so I just got to training. It's been a month and it was good. I rate myself, because I'm not an IT guy, as a rate like 6 out of 10, and I've covered. I'm like good in basics, but I have doubts in Apex coding and all that stuff, because since I'm an IT guy, I have a difficulty in like learning
Okay.
coding. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Now, what is the total years of experience that you said? How much?
12 years. 12 years.
12 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. And overall, you rate yourself as 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's be a little more specific. When we're talking about strength and weaknesses, you said you're quite good in the basics and not that good in the coding part, right? So now let's get let's be a little more specific. So coding, when you say, are you talking about Apex or Visual Force?
Visual Force and Apex both.
Both the things.
I would need more of a practice to do that. I'm not saying that I've not learned. I've learned a bit. I would be needing more of practice, because I think my training is not yet completed.
Okay.
It's still gone. It's still going on.
Still going on. Okay, that's nice. And how about the strength area? When you say basics, what are you referring to when you say basics?
Basics means just a basic IT, like what is Salesforce all about, how to like develop like page and everything, how to go Visual Force, and how to do links and all, how to like, you can say how to use Salesforce. That's the basics. That's the only thing I've learned, I think.
That's the only thing that you have learned?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, let me again, put this question. What we want to understand here is one area in Salesforce which you think is a strength of yours, and one area which you think you do not, when you go for an interview, one area that you would want to talk about and one area that you would want to avoid, right? So that is what we are trying to figure it out. So it would be good. I mean, I'm pretty okay with the answer that you are, giving right now. But it would be good if we can drill down a little more into this. Let's say I say that I'm pretty good with the data management part.
Media players for faster HD playback. It only takes a minute on broadband, and there's no restart required.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, so like for an example. I might say that I'm really good in data management, data loads and all that stuff. You ask me anything, I'm really good in that. Or you can say that, okay, fine, I'm really good in data modeling, but don't ask me about the Apex programming. Or you say that, okay, fine, I'm really good in...
In that case, I'm good in creation of reports and dashboards.
Yes, now we are talking. Right, that's good. So the reporting part, because you came from the corporate sales and all that stuff, so reporting part must have always been a big, thing.
I know, that's the reason.
Right.
That's the thing we have to do all the day, like.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay.
And coding also, can you be a little more specific? I mean, I understand you have a challenge with Visual Force and Apex. Which is the one that you hate the most? I mean, you can still manage with
Apex.
Apex. Okay, good. So you never had a programming background or something, prior to your work experience in college or something?
No. I'm typical layman.
Okay, so because you were learning this programming languages for the first time, that is the reason why you had this challenge, right?
Yeah.
Got that.
Right.
All right. So and one more thing, you talked about this telecom experience for 12 years. That was way back in India. Now, are you currently working on something? Are you currently into something?
Yeah, my uncle owns a pizza store, so I'm just managing that. Just that's just a pastime. I'm just passing my time. I'm a manager there, but that's not my cup of tea, because I wanted to join IT. That's the reason I'm here.
All right, that's nice. Okay, great. So yeah, so I think I will talk more about what sort of work experience you should be showing or what sort of a role you should be targeting.
Okay.
Then who is next? Sharan, can you go ahead?
Hi, yeah, my name is Sharon, and I have some software testing experience. Basically, I'm from accounting field, and I switched to software testing, and I had like 6 months project in New York, and then I moved to California, and I have not done any, job in that field so far in California. And I have joined this course because I have heard about it and this is new and there is not a lot more competition in this field. So thinking that this is something, I had accounting background. This is similar to QuickBooks also a little bit, payment profiles and all that. So I have joined this course because of that, and I hope to find a job in this field, but in the admin field, not developer, because I think,
Programming will be a tough thing for you, right?
yeah.
Okay. So what is the overall experience that you have?
I have accounting experience in accounts payable and accounts.
So you're good in that part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just a small question, I mean, just out of curiosity, why, admin specifically, why not development? Why I'm asking this question? I'll tell. Hello? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just tell you why I'm asking this question. Because, admin is a back-end role, and then accounting is also, more of a back-end role, and there is not, too much of programming. So when what I see is similar kind of roles, then why do you want to switch from your accounting or software testing to admin thing? Any specific reason?
You mean why I want to switch?
Yeah, I mean, why did you think of admin? That is, let me put it very simple. Why did you just think of admin and not something else, or maybe, yeah.
Oh, because of the coding part. Because I think there is, you have to.
Coding is something that you do not want to get into, right?
Yeah, I don't want to get into coding. Yeah.
All right. So that's fine, no problem. Okay. So, yeah. So I can just see these two names, Navjot and Sharan, on my screen. I'm not able to see others' names because you all are on the phone. So now I just want any volunteer to just start speaking. From next time onwards, I'll have the complete list of names. So who's next? Yeah, please go ahead, gentleman or lady. Who is it?
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, this is Sandeep.
Hey, Sandeep. Hi.
So I'm not able to access the online.
Is it asking you for a password?
Yes.
Yes, the password is Intelikore 123. Intelikore all small 123. Intelikore 123.
Okay, let me try that again.
Okay. In the meanwhile,
So this is,
yeah.
yeah, this is Mach 1027 on the email. But I'll try it.
Alright. So in the meanwhile, you can just introduce yourself. We just want to, understand a little about you, the work experience.
Yeah, I think same thing. I want to just basically not involve too much in the coding part. And do more of administration. But I still want to learn more. I want to actually study it more.
The coding part?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, who else is there? Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Partesh.
Yeah, Parthesh, please go ahead.
Just the one thing, why was the password incorrect? Why couldn't you guys email the second password right away? Because I know you guys can see everyone's email, right? I was waiting for over like 40 minutes to try to log in, and this is, because I had to call in sick for this meeting. I work in the morning, and this is just very upset. But
Right.
anyways, that's that.
So Parthesh, just for your understanding, I am as innocent as you are, because I also receive a meeting link and I just join in, right? So I'm not the organizer, so I might not be the right person to talk about it. You can definitely talk to the person who sent you the password. Fine. So
Yeah, sure.
you want to take some time, settle down, and then introduce yourself, or is it?
No, I'm already settled down. I can introduce myself.
Okay. Yeah, Parthesh, please go ahead. Yeah, I'm actually equally innocent. So
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Can you give me like 15 minutes? I think there is something like technical problem here at GoToMeeting site. So what I'll do, I'll change the password and send you the password that you guys can log in through laptop. Okay.
Okay.
Hey G, is it okay? Is it fine? 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes break, 10 minutes break.
I think now we have a password which is this one, which is working fine. So you can just mail this password to everyone for now, because we are already in the session. So let's not change the details. Just mail this password to everyone. I think they should be able to connect.
Yeah, sure. I'll change the password and then mail to all. Okay.
Yeah, most of them are over the phone. Yeah. Yeah, Parthesh, please go ahead.
So shall we disconnect now?
No, we don't need to disconnect. We can stay on this call. I mean, they can just connect. That's absolutely fine.
Okay, so I can change if you guys are on call, I can able to change, right?
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, I cannot. Excuse me. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Don't. I am going to attend it over the phone now. I cannot. I had to shut down my computer. I was in a cafe, so I'll just listen over the phone.
Okay. So, Amir, you don't have to close this meeting. You just there is a password which I have given to you in the chat window. You just share this password with everyone over the email. Just send them an email. That should be more than enough. So we should be able to manage.
Okay, sure, Jay.
Fine. They will just put this password and they will get connected. Yep, Parthesh. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, so for the I graduated a couple of years ago, around 6 years ago. Since then, I've been running a restaurant, as a manager and / owner.
Okay.
I don't have a major IT background, but I do like the admin part, and I do want to learn the coding part, but which I'm sure it's going to take a little bit longer.
Oh, you're right. So one thing that we are missing majorly here on is how do you rate, since you're done with your training thing, how do you rate yourself in the Salesforce training out of 1 to 10? Your comfort level in Salesforce. Are you very comfortable?
For admin, I'm very comfortable.
Okay. And have you attended any sessions on the development part? Coding?
Yeah, I attended all the sessions, and it's just I can understand it, but it will take me a little bit longer because I would need more practice, because I've never done that kind of before.
All right. So that's fine. No problem. All right. So for admin, you're comfortable. Again, coding is the area where you feel there is a bit of challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
Sandeep, did you tell us about yourself? I think I missed on that part. Sandeep, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know what was happening, so I was like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We directly went on start talking to Parthesh. Yeah, Sandeep, please go ahead.
My experience is mainly business. Run a hotel right now, and have over 10 years experience. But also HTML and basic JavaScript.
Okay.
And that kind of helped with the
Visual Force classes. Okay. So, okay. Now, Are you okay with the coding part, Sandeep? The program.
I do want to do the coding part. It's going to take a little bit more practice.
Okay. Needs a little more practice. That is what you feel. That's
But
fine.
I'm comfortable with the administrative part.
Okay. Admin, you're okay. And coding is where you have a bit of challenge. Okay. That's fine. And who else we have? I think we have Chichili there.
Yeah, hi. Hi, this is Preeti here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have done the training, and what I felt was I'm very comfortable with the admin part. For the developer part, it does get me excited, but I wish there's more scenarios given where I can start connecting myself on, okay, if I go as a developer, because I know there's more requirement for developers. So I'm thinking that if I'm able to get more scenarios, I can repeat what is needed and get more comfortable in that zone. So I do not officially do not have the work experience out here, but I've been managing the QuickBooks for friends and companies.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with the business out here, and I am looking forward to becoming a business analyst. But that's the current goal for me now. I would like to go in either as the admin. I'm comfortable.
Okay. That's fine. All right. Who else we have? Anyone who has not yet talked to me? I think I've talked to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people so far.
Hi.
Yeah.
My name is Paulina.
Yeah. Hi, Paulina.
Jeet, I also took the training, and I have no IT background at all.
Okay.
I have been a homemaker for a long time, and I've owned my own businesses, but never, not for the past years. I've been home with my kids, and now they are older, so I'm getting back to work. To be very honest, for me, both of them would be starting points, and I don't mind putting in my effort in getting into any one of them, either admin or developer part. I can, whichever comes easy, whichever comes first, or gets my foot into the market. That's all I care, and I can put the effort in. Communication skills-wise, I have no issue, because I was working in the U.S. before, but in a totally different field, which was medical, because I'm an optometrist by field. So this is where I am. I can go into admin. I could go into developer, whichever you guys can help me get in is what I hear, and I'll put in my effort. That's about it.
So are you done with the training, or you're still to start with the training?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Done with the training.
And there's been, yeah.
So how comfortable did you feel with the programming side, with Apex and Visual Force?
I think it's just a matter of putting in the hours and putting in the hard work. That's how I feel, both of them. I feel like the admin could get a lot more trickier, but if you get the developer part, which could become I would say developer could be one of those things where it's like a regular thing, right? Whereas the admin, the scenarios can change on a regular basis.
Right.
And that's how I feel. So I think developer looks harder, but I think if you really get to do it, developer would be a lot easier to get in versus the admin. I don't know. I could be wrong. This is just my perception of what I gathered.
No, your perception is absolutely correct. It's very true. In fact, what she's saying is something very important, and we need to understand that a developer usually talks to the software. He talks to the application, right? Application will just understand one particular syntax. So there is nothing that we have to think. We just need to know the syntax. That's it. So in case we find it difficult because we do not know the syntaxes, or we have not done enough of practice. So we find it difficult. But once you know that, your life will be much more easier, because there is just one way of explaining things to the application. But admin part is,
Yeah, you're right. The admin, the domains can keep changing. So you have to keep learning a new domain after every contract.
Right, and that is more of managing the users and all, and you may have a different requirement every time and dealing with managing the users, licenses, a lot of things there, right? And
that's what I felt
admin.
because
Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
so that's what I felt like. This is what's happening is like, I mean, I'm totally new and pretty much like a layman to this field, but this is what my perception was, that, you know what, admin could get a little bit more tricky.
It can get tricky, right? It looks very simpler,
Yeah.
but it's a little deceptive. Yeah, as you keep on getting into it. Yeah, that's true. Okay, who else is there on the call through phone, connected through phone or something? Who else is there? Do we have anyone else here who I have not yet spoken to? So everyone we have spoken to. Okay. So now there are a few things that I want to discuss. One thing that we have to understand is, first thing, we need to figure out what role we want to get into when we are talking about Salesforce, right? So I will just start sharing my screen. There are a few things that I want to discuss. I am pretty sure that you all have done your trainings. You are okay with the concepts and the topics and all. So that part is there. My role here would be to guide you overall. What is good for you? What is the thing that you can get into? And first thing that I want you to understand, what are the different roles when you try to make a career in Salesforce? When you go for a profession in Salesforce, what all options do you have? So as most of you are talking administrator, that is definitely one option. So you can become an administrator. You can become a developer. You can become a functional consultant. Or business analyst. And you can become a technical architect. So these are mainly the roles that are available when you apply for a Salesforce job. Either there will be an opening for an administrator or a developer. The third opening can be for a business analyst kind of a role, which is called a functional consultant, and technical architect. So now let us understand what exactly is the role of each one of them. Okay. And then you decide on which is the area that you want to go into. Okay. Why I talk about this? Because this is very important. See, if I want to get into admin stuff, or if I want to become a functional consultant, and if my strengths are of a functional consultant, and I keep on working hard towards development, will not give any benefit to me in a longer run. Right? I might end up becoming a developer, but again after 6 months you will realize that no, this is not something I wanted to do. I wanted to become a functional consultant, right? So let us understand what roles, what these roles are, what are you expected if you get into one of these things. Okay. So because you all have done training and you are done with your admin development training, one small request, can we have everyone's microphones on mute, please? Everyone, microphones on mute. I get a lot of noise from that side. For phone mute, I think you guys know. For GoToMeeting mute, you have an option of muting your microphone on the GoToMeeting window. Okay, for now I have muted everyone in the GoToMeeting. Phone mute, I cannot do that. In case, now it's fine. I think I do not hear any noise. So that's fine. So what do you think? Anyone who can tell me what is the role of an administrator? What an administrator does usually? As a Salesforce administrator, what will be your role? Anyone? Anyone? And please don't hesitate to talk to me. I mean, more you talk to me, you get to know more about Salesforce.
We set up the users.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we set up the users.
Yeah, please go ahead.
We can create profiles.
Yeah. Okay.
We can grant access the organization by default. Whatever we have to grant to the organization, we can do that.
Right. Apart from that,
It's actually to look after the licenses, the licensing part, and like to look after all the user. They are like perfect. And if any of the user faces a problem, the administrator is there to help them out, I think.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Data management.
Yes. Right. What else?
Security and access.
Security and access controls. That's absolutely correct. What else do we have?
Importing. Oh no, that's part of data.
Yeah. So as an administrator, yeah. So as an administrator,
How about the CRM? Would that be a part of an administrator too? Basically, is that?
CRM is just one domain. So you can have administrators in CRM and then you can have developers in the CRM. Fine. Okay. So for an administrator, just remember two things: managing users and managing data. If you are hired as an administrator, you will either be managing users or you will be managing the data. That's it. Managing user includes everything related to user, setting up the users, creating profiles, controlling the OWDs, sharing settings, and managing the data will again include things like putting the data, exporting the data, doing reports on the data. So that will all come up if you get into an admin role. Okay, your users, who is using Salesforce, controlling the licenses thing, someone was talking about that part. How many licenses do you have? How many of the licenses are you utilizing? Do audits on the users, who is using Salesforce from where and all, right? Because this is there's something which you can access from anywhere. So an administrator sometimes is also required to keep a track on who is using Salesforce from where, right? If you find that there is a user who is every day he's using Salesforce after going back home, then you might just want to understand why this guy is using, or block that user or restrict his timings, something like that, right? So administrator is basically managing users and managing the data. Okay. Then comes the developer. Now, what according to you guys is the role of a developer? What does a developer do? What is the job of developer?
He can customize the Salesforce based on the business needs. If there's something specially that needs to be created for the company, the developer is able to understand and present it to the user interface or...
Sorry, please go ahead. Anyone else?
Something to do with the integration. They are sitting.
Okay, yes. All right. So now microphones on mute, please. Now for developer, the simple job of a developer is managing application. Developer is the guy who manages the application, the behavior of the application. Okay. So managing application includes customizing the apps and creating new apps. Both the things are included. Designing new apps is there, customizing apps is there. Okay. So these are the two things which the developer would do. Either he will be creating apps or he will be customizing the existing apps. So that's the role of a developer. Clear? So administrator, we understand, this is the guy who manages users. Developer is the guy who manages applications. He manages applications either by creating them or by customizing the existing apps. Fine. So this guy, developer, does not have anything to do with users. He is simply into managing of the applications, managing the apps. Clear? Okay. Now then, what is the role of a functional consultant? Administrator, we understand, manages users and data. Developer manages applications. What will a functional consultant do? Yeah.
Yeah, I think functional consultant is the person who will look at integration of the business with the application. And what is possible, what is possible, what can be done, and what cannot be done in terms of what the application can provide.
Yes. Correct. So functional consultant is a person who usually manages the clients and their requirements. Okay. So this is the guy who will deal with the clients, understand their requirements, and try to figure out whether their requirements can be accommodated within the Salesforce app or not. Fine. The client can ask for anything. The client can say that, okay, fine, I want my customer to receive an email. The moment he clicks on that email, it should start singing a song. That email should start playing an MP3. Client can come up with any requirement, right? But basically what we'll have to do, we'll have to define the boundaries that see, boss, this is possible within Salesforce and this is beyond the boundaries of Salesforce. Client might ask you for sending 1 million emails in a day. He says, okay, fine, every day I want to send a newsletter using Salesforce and I want to send 1 million emails in a day. Is that possible using Salesforce? No. So client can have any requirement, but a functional consultant is a guy who talks to the client, tries to understand his requirement, proposes him a solution within the boundaries of Salesforce, fine, so manages his expectations to some extent, and then proposes the best solution. If the client says that I want this and Salesforce is not capable of doing that thing, then functional consultant is a guy who should be able to convince the client that this is something which is not possible using Salesforce and the best alternative is this. So if this is not possible, then this should be the thing. Moreover, because functional consultant is aware of the Salesforce possibilities, so the role of functional consultant is also to propose good solutions to the client so that they can enhance the capabilities of the application, right? Let's say now there is someone who said that he has been running a restaurant. Yeah, Parthish said that he has been running his own restaurant for last few years. All right. Now he decides to use Salesforce for managing his restaurant business, the customers or the some other business processes. He decides to use Salesforce for that. Now he is not aware of the functionalities of Salesforce, what can be done, what cannot be done, right? So being a functional consultant, if I am the functional consultant, I should tell him that, okay, why are you not using this functionality? This comes up with Salesforce, automated emails, workflows, approval process. He might not be aware of that. He just might be doing things manually. Once you guys get into some job, you will see a lot of things which you have learned in your training program are not being used by the clients. The clients, most of the times, they are not aware of that, and a lot of functional consultants who are also now not aware of most of the things, they do not propose proper things at the proper time. So in a lot of places you will find this thing, that the client is not utilizing all the functionalities of Salesforce. Approval is happening manually, workflows are not being used, validations are not there, that sort of things, right? So that can be there. All right. So that's the role of a functional consultant, all right, or the business analyst. Now, if you are not very good in the coding part, if you feel that no, programming is something that you do not want to get into, and that is something that is something which you would want to avoid, functional consultant is the next thing that you should be targeting. Okay. So this is something which I want you to understand. If you do not want to get into coding, try and target the functional consultant side, okay, before you start thinking of admin, because administrator is a basic job. Now we have understood these three roles. What we understand from admin is more of a back-end kind of a role, right? You said
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Who is that? Sandeep.
Yeah, which part is more like in demand right now?
Which part is more in demand?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's again, developer is the guy who is most in demand. Okay. Then the functional consultant. Then the administrators. Technical architects, from the salary point of view, they have huge salaries, but becoming a technical architect is quite tough. These are the people who have a lot of development experience. So this is a little out of scope for you guys at this point of time. Technical architect is a guy who understands multiple technologies, maybe 10 years, 12 years experience on different technologies. He understands things and all that stuff. He understands if Salesforce has to talk to some other application. Let's say for accounting I have a different application, for marketing I have Salesforce, and for my case management I'm using something else, right? Now if these three applications have to talk within themselves, then how that will happen? So that is what a technical architect would do, but this is simply beyond scope for you guys at this point of time. I just wanted you guys to understand this technical architect role. So he's an architect of these integrations and all. Technically he is very, very sound. So technical architect is kind of out of scope at this point of time. But if you are talking about these three roles, admin, developer and functional consultant, developer is most in demand, then comes the functional consultant, and then comes the administrators. Okay, developers, there are a lot of developers required. Okay, and the reason is pretty simple. Why there are more developers required? Because Salesforce, you guys have done the training, that Salesforce allows a lot of applications to be developed. They have a platform also for developing apps, right? And then they provide a lot of customization. So any company, any client who is using Salesforce and needs a bit of customization to be done, they need developers there. Okay, so developers are of course more in demand, more developers are required. Functional consultant is again there in demand. Why do we need functional consultant? Because if the Salesforce implementations are being done for the clients, companies are using Salesforce, they are implementing Salesforce, there has to be a requirement of functional consultants who can go talk to the client, understand the requirement, implement it the way they want, right? Now for the functional consultant role, one thing that you need to understand is this. Communication is going to be a key factor there. You need to have a good communication. Communication, again, I just don't mean that you should just be able to communicate with your grammar and all, but it again means you should have that convincing skill, you should have that thinking ability, you should have that problem solving ability. So functional consultant is more of a client facing role, where you have to go to the client, talk to them, convince them what is good for their process, and you should understand the process really well. Okay, so what kind?
Actually, Jeet,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. It's more of actually marketing manager and sales manager kind of, right?
Not exactly, kind of, right, but not exactly the sales manager, marketing manager, because see, sales manager's job is basically to go and sell. Marketing manager's job is to market the thing. Here it's not about marketing or selling. So sales has already been done with the client. Now it's about understanding his requirement and telling him about the flow. Fine, and I will actually give you all one scenario, each one of you, and I will ask you to get into that scenario and come up with solution. So
but you just said like he's the one who proposes like what the requirement is, and like he's the one who's a key person between like a developer and a company or whatever the client is, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So after the sales is done, he is the one who will actually go and talk to the client and try to propose a solution, right?
Okay.
So let's say, I mean, yeah. Anyone else who's trying to add on something?
Yeah, I have a question. So what's the fine line difference between a functional person and a BA? Because I can see a little bit of an overlap of a BA and a functional person. I can see a little bit of overlap, but I could be wrong. Is there a fine line difference between them?
No, there is not a little bit overlap. There is a lot of overlap between these two roles. I mean, almost similar kind of role both of them have, right?
Okay.
So, they might call it a business analyst, and you might be called a functional consultant. So that's just the terminology which is being used, but the role is almost similar, right?
Okay. Okay. Gathering information then.
Yeah.
From one end and okay.
And then passing it on to the developers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, please.
I had a question. So I have been looking at the business analyst requirements because I'm interested in going in as an analyst. But my concern was, the experience that they ask. So how do we take care of that situation?
Anyhow,
because I do understand, that I perfectly understand the role. And I know whatever you are looking at as the requirements to become a business analyst, I'm pretty comfortable with that. But my problem is, putting in the years of experience.
Okay.
That's my concern.
So my question is, are you going to put all correct experience, or are you going to put a bit of fake experience?
Yeah, since I do not have the official working experience, but I do understand business processes because I've been dealing with business.
Right.
So that's one thing which I was concerned about.
Yeah, so if we are gonna put a fake experience, it's just a matter of preparing stories. Like, take up 2-3. See, when I'm putting experience, when you say that, okay, fine, how do I go and apply for a functional consultant role? The experience that you try and put in that experience, you'll have to put, let's say, if I put, say, 1 year experience, and then I would be definitely asked, what did you do in this 1 year? Then I need to say that I worked on 2 projects. So now I need to know about 2 projects. So I will need to think that, okay, one was this, the other one was that. So it's just a matter of preparing story, going backward and keep on preparing your story. So that is the reason why I started with asking you guys, and I told you that start thinking on what is your strength area, what is your weakness area. So if you are going into business analyst or a functional consultant kind of a role, you say that I have worked on 3 projects and I have done, the requirement gathering and solution designing for 3 projects, then definitely you will be asked that, okay, fine, which domains or which industries were you working for, and then Navjot can easily answer. If he talks about telecom industry, he will be very comfortable. Partesh will be very comfortable if he talks about the restaurant. So that is the thing, right? We all have our own work experience, or wherever we have worked or we have owned some business, we know those areas, right? Good thing with Salesforce is, yeah, just give me 1 minute.
I have a question.
Just 1 minute. Shall I finish?
Sure.
Yeah. Good thing with Salesforce is, the biggest advantage, and what I'm going to tell you now is that Salesforce is applicable on all the businesses. So whatever experience you have had, so you can definitely utilize that. You can talk about that experience. Just that we'll have to be very smart while we are talking about putting the projects in our resume. Try to put something that you are already aware of, the business process that you understand, so that you're very comfortable during the interviews. Yeah, please go ahead. Someone have their question.
Okay, thank you, Jeet. Yeah.
Jeet, the thing is, what has been your experience so far if somebody comes out in a very honest way by saying that they don't have any experience, but they took the certification, and maybe just put like a year experience? Have you found that people have lucked out getting a job in that situation, where they have come out very honest and without padding up the resume? Or do people really seek experience, truly?
No.
And you can be very honest about it, because,
Yeah, so it's just a matter of if you are able to get through that initial thing. I mean, if your resume gets shortlisted. I am again not into that much of recruiting, and I do not get into the too much of the kind of requirements that are there. But what I understand is, and I think you all will agree to that let's say there is a company which is asking for minimum 4 years of experience, and then you are very honest to say I do not have experience, right? Your resume does not get shortlisted. Okay, there can be another company who says, okay, fine, we need anyone from 0 to 5 years, and then you end up getting that interview call. So if you are in the interview, then you have all the chances. In fact, because I have taken a lot of interviews, and a lot of times I like these people who just simply come to me and say that, okay, fine, we do not have experience, we have learned it, and then I try to judge them from that point of view. In fact, that is something that I have liked more. because most of the times people who put fake experience, most of the times, I'm not saying every time, most of the times they are caught. I mean, see, the person who's taking interview will definitely figure it out. If you do not have a very solid and strong story, he'll be able to figure out, right? Let's say a simple question like how many users you had and what kind of licenses you had, and you get caught. I mean, you are prepared with the project concept and everything, but you never thought of how many users he is going to ask. And you all of a sudden start, fumbling, and you say that I do not know and all that stuff, and he gets, the interviewer gets to know. So, but that is a different story. But my point is that your recruiter or anyone who is going to market the resume will be able to tell you that, okay, fine, what is the criteria of your resume getting initially shortlisted? So that is, the important thing. Once that is shortlisted, then you have all the reasons to be selected. Okay.
Thank you.
So now the key point that we are talking about here is, first is the developer, which is in demand. If you feel that developer is something that is tough for you, if not completely, you might have that aim in mind that 6 months down the line I can become a developer. See, we will have to think very practically that, okay, how long, when we are saying we need practice for developer, how long do we need to practice? If we need 6 months, so what is the immediate thing that I need to do? Immediately the next choice for you should be a functional consultant and not the admin. Okay, so try more on the business analyst or the functional consultant role. Then if that is also something that you feel that this seems to be a little tough, not able to clear interviews or not getting enough calls, third option should be admin. Admin is something which everyone of you can easily get into. And that is the reason why there is not too much of demand, because anyone can get into admin easily. Because admin does not include solution designing, it just includes changing certain permissions and all, and you do not have any thinking, that you have to do. You just have to make changes. Transactional, it is completely transactional thing. You are asked to give a permission to certain user, and then you just give that permission. That's it. So you do not have to come up with any solution. So admin, that is the reason why that is a very simple role, and almost everyone who has got some training on Salesforce can handle that admin part, right? But having said that, I'm not saying that there are not jobs for administrators, but I would suggest that should be your third option. Your first priority can be developer or functional consultant. I think there are a few people who clearly said that developer is not something that they want to get into. Try getting into the functional consulting. Okay. Now the other thing is, that is one thing. Second thing is, when we are talking about functional consultant, as I told you earlier, that Salesforce can be implemented for any type of industry, any kind of a business, right? Now you people come from some experience you have, right? Someone said that accounting experience, someone talked about the restaurant thing, someone talked about the testing thing, and then we have a guy from telecom, right? So first thing that I want you to do is, I will give you a scenario. I will give you a scenario where I would want you to design a solution. So that is one thing that we are going to do during our sessions. Okay, but before that, I just have a small activity for you all. Okay, can you think of a Salesforce app? Okay, and this is something which I'm going to ask you tomorrow. I will give you small question answers. I would ask you all tomorrow. Can you think of a Salesforce app which can be developed to help in the business that you have been involved into, that you have experience with? Let's say Navjot can start thinking on a Salesforce app which can help in the telecom sector. Sharon can think about a Salesforce app which can help in accounting. All right. Parthesh can think of a Salesforce app which can help in restaurant management. That way, right? So think of the business that you have worked on and think of a Salesforce app. What kind of a Salesforce app can be very useful in managing that thing? So this is something which I want you to seriously think on. And tomorrow, once we start our session, I'm going to ask these questions and I want everyone to come up with the answer. Okay. It will be really good if you guys can come up with a one-page document that, okay, this is the kind of a app concept. this is what we can design. Okay, so do as much of thinking as you can and come up with the answer to this. Okay, 1-page document on this thing we need. 1-page MS Word document, or if you can beautify it, whatever you want. Minimum of a page document, right? What kind of an app you think will be right fit for the kind of experience that you have had, the business line that you have worked on? Just think of, or the industry or the domain that you have worked on. Think of that and think of a Salesforce app, kind of a Salesforce app which can really help that business, certain areas. Can we do this? Can we talk about this in tomorrow's session?
Yeah, sure, Jeet. Why not?
Yep. Okay. So we are gonna discuss this thing, and then we are also gonna get into the next plan is that we are gonna get into a few topics. So I will ask you a few questions tomorrow's session, and the objective would be to understand how good you people are into the different topics. So tomorrow, first thing we will discuss on these project concepts that you guys come up with, and the second thing we are going to do is we are going to do a bit of question answers. So please read the things, and I'm just going to ask you a few questions and try and understand which all areas you are good in and which all areas you are struggling and all. Yeah, Parthesh, please go ahead, ask. Sorry, I think you were on mute. The class timing will be the same, Parthesh, as we started today. It will be 8:30 PST.
Can it be in the PM also, or it's only for the mornings?
It's going to be in the morning.
Because I work in the morning, my schedule.
8:30 to 9:30 AM PST, will that work? Or you leave for work by that time?
I think 8:30 is good. Like
8:30 is fine, no?
8:30 PM?
8:30 AM. AM.
Oh no, I'm saying I work in the morning. I work from 6 o'clock to like 1 PM. So I'm asking if there's another class in the evening.
No, as of now, no. But again, I think Amir or